I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Everybody wants something from him. The professional who wants targets.
If you saw ninjas, you're seeing ghosts.
An heiress who wants revenge.
I want to know who they are.
The man he once called brother is now his deadly enemy.
You don't torment me anymore, Sakura.
A prisoner of his own destiny. He will find freedom only one way. Chuck Norris, Carlson, Leigh and Cleef, the Octagon.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review for Alban, A-L-B-A-N. Thanks to everyone for joining me on my Patreon. If anyone ever wants to pledge anything of the sort, feel free. I also have my PayPal. You can request anything, reviews, movie topics, commentaries, whatever you want. Again, the links for those will be down below. But the request for today is the Chuck Norris film The Octagon from 1980. Now, I'm a big Chuck Norris fan. I have not reviewed a lot of his stuff. I reviewed a lot of other action stars' filmographies. I reviewed pretty much all of Stallone's movies, Van Damme's films, Steven Seagal's films, Dolph Lundgren's films, but not Chuck Norris. But I do like quite a bit of Chuck Norris movies, from Firewalker, which is my favorite, to the Missing in Action films, Invasion USA, Code of Silence. I like The Hero and the Terror. I love Silent Rage. And the list goes on. Now, The Octagon, started by Eric Karson. Some action fans may remember that name because he directed Black Eagle, which I ranted on when I did my Van Damme marathon. That's an awful movie. He also did Angel Town, which I think I would say Angel Town is his best film that he directed. Then this one, then Black Eagle's down the fucking dumpster. But he also produced Lionheart. I would say, for a film he's involved in, I would say the best one is Lionheart, which he produced. But directed, I would say Angel Town. But this one, I did like. I did like it, mainly for its third act. Like, the first hour of the film is sketchy, at best. I can admit that. But I thought the last 30-40 minutes, for me, easily saved the film. Now, the story, Chuck Norris, former martial arts master, of course. There's these terrorists that have a training camp with ninjas. Because, of course, I mean, if you have a terrorist training camp, why wouldn't it be run by ninjas? And they get new people to come in and train. You do get to see some decent bit of blood. Like, this diplomat is killed, and you get these, like, blood squibs. I did not expect that. That was surprising. But Chuck Norris, he has a history where back in the day, he was training with his brother, adopted brother, however you want to put it, under this master. And I'm like, I recognize his master when we see in the flashbacks. Like, that's the guy from American Ninja. If I could remember the name. He was also Michael Dudikoff's teacher in American Ninja 1. Get the name right. I think it's Yuki Shimoda. I think that was in Yuki Shimoda. No, John Fujioka. That's who it is. John Fujioka as his teacher. Yeah, John Fujioka. So he was a teacher of Chuck Norris in this movie, and his teacher Michael Dudikoff in American Ninjas. So that's pretty cool. Sadly, he passed away in 2018. That's right, he was also in Steel Dawn with Patrick Swayze, which I reviewed. He was the chief priest in Mortal Kombat. That's right, in 1995. Yeah, after this, he was in They Call Me Bruce. That's right, I love They Call Me Bruce. I have not reviewed that one. One day I would like to. He was in American Samurai, American Yakuza. So yeah, you have some flashbacks where he's being taught by, again, the guy would... Who knows, maybe it's the same guy. He didn't change his name. You never know. They didn't say that character died, so... It could be. John Fujioka changed his name, and, you know, after teaching Chuck Norris when he was young, went on to teach Michael Dudikoff. But during those flashbacks, when they're in their teens, I believe the bad guy who's a teen is played by Brian Tochi. When they're like 18 years old, I'm like, that sounds familiar. That sounds like Leonardo. Holy shit, it is Leonardo. It's fucking Brian Tochi who voiced Leonardo in the first 3 90s Ninja Turtle movies. I'm like, wow, that's Leonardo. Who's gonna try to fight Chuck Norris when he was young. Don't do that, Leo. Don't do that. It's a bad plan. But those flashbacks are spliced throughout. And the modern day story is Chuck Norris is at dinner with this girl, goes home, the girl's family and the girl herself get killed, but Chuck Norris beats the shit out of these ninjas. Then he wants to find out what's going on. Leigh Van Cleef from some of the Fistful of Dollar movies, Escape from New York. I like Leigh Van Cleef. He was a good character actor, had a good voice and face to him, nice look. Like I said, great voice. And kind of wants Chuck Norris's help, but Chuck Norris is like, nah, I just want to mind my own business. But he kind of gets pulled into this because one of his buddies, played by Art Hindle, something happens to someone he knows, and he goes off, and Chuck Norris is like, fuck, I guess I gotta do it too. The first hour of the film, the reason I said it was sketchy is for a number of things. Number one, they do this annoying, I don't know why they did this. When Chuck Norris narrates, they echo his voice. Like, hello, 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 hello. Why are you doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this? Secura, 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 Secura. Why have you done this, brother, brother? What are you doing, brother? It got on my fucking nerves. I guarantee it got on a lot of people's fucking nerves. Because I can't remember another Chuck Norris film where that was a thing. It just ruins those scenes because I'm like, this is goofy and silly and it's laughable. And sometimes I can't understand what the fuck he's saying because his own echo of his voice gets in the way. Just say it once. So that was really stupid. And it seemed like the plot really wasn't going anywhere in the first hour. Because, well, you have the flashbacks, which were fine. Leigh Van Cleef, if you saw ninjas, you're seeing ghosts. His mercenary buddy. But then you have this whole theme where you did not need this. Where he helps this girl on the side of the road, but then she takes his fucking keys, so he has to walk to her. And meanwhile, you see the terrorists being trained as ninjas. And this girl has a bit of story as to why she's doing this to Chuck Norris, because she really wants Chuck Norris to join this terrorist ass kicking team. Like, we'll go kick terrorist ass. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it. He might as well say, leave me the fuck alone. And she's like, I want to hire you. I know said no, so I faked some stuff, including this fucking car chase we're in, but I really want you, but I know you don't want to do it. I'm like, you know what? I don't need this shit in the movie. Okay, writer, directors, we don't need this shit. Just cut this shit out. We don't even need this woman character. We don't need her. Because we have another character who's part of the terrorist regime, and she's gonna fucking leave anyway and turn cold and say, this ain't for me, buddy. This shit ain't for me. This is stupid. Like, we don't need this other lady. I'm trying to get her name. Carlson. But we don't need this fucking wait a minute, Carlson. You could easily have taken this character out of the movie, and it honestly would have helped the pacing. That kind of shit just slowed the movie down. You know, wasn't an interesting character. You don't really get a love story between the two characters. Not that you needed it with Chuck Norris and her. At least, I don't know what the hell happened to her character. I'm trying to even remember what the fuck happened to her character. She manages to recruit his buddy to find the ninja Satura. And was that the last time we saw that? I mean, you could have just had Leigh and Cleef do that. You already have a character to do that, or, you know. But what made the first hour tolerable, one, I like Chuck Norris. People say he's a bad actor. No, he's not. He's not Al Pacino. He's not James Woods. He's not Laurence Olivier. But I like Chuck Norris. I liked his presence. I liked his look. I liked his voice. I like Chuck Norris. And this is in his prowess as martial arts. And I like when he kicks ass. And he does some decent moments of kicking ass. Like when the girl at the beginning gets killed, he kicks some ninja ass. When one kicks right out the fucking door. Or when he's trying to infiltrate the terrorists, and they're like signing up for people to go to this training camp, and one of the guys is Richard Norton. Richard Norton, who's been a bad guy in a couple Jackie Chan films, including, what was the one where Jackie Chan was a video game character? The Street Fighter. What was that movie? City Hunter. Also, he was the bad guy in Mr. Nice Guy. He also starred in a couple films. He was in a really good one called Under the Gun. One of the few times he got to star in a film. That was worth a look if you like direct-to-video action films. That's a pretty good one. But it was cool to see Richard Norton. Technically, he plays two roles. He plays this guy who Chuck Norris kicks in the balls and beats the other guys pretty easily. But I believe he's also the guy who's like the enforcer. Not the poster I'm going to show for the thumbnail, but if you go on Wikipedia and you see the poster of this, which is a really lame poster, but it's a ninja with most of his face covered. That's sort of the enforcer of this camp. Not the main bad guy, but like the enforcer. That's also played by Richard Norton. So Richard Norton plays two roles. He plays this guy who Chuck Norris kicks in the balls, and he plays a guy with the full head mask on. Again, sort of the enforcer of this training camp. There's some defection going on where a woman who's in the camp, she's like, I don't know about this. Then the last 40 minutes, the movie really just starts cooking. And that's why I can forgive the film. Because the film, I thought, the second half of the movie, the last third of the movie, really went all out with the action. And when I see a Chuck Norris movie, I just want to see Chuck Norris kicking some ass. And he does. He's attacked in bed. He fights some ninjas. Kicks the shit out of them. Leigh Van Cleef and his buddies shoot some ninjas. He goes after his buddy Art Hindle, who's fucking stupid and gets caught. He gets in the camp. He fights a shitload of ninjas. He beats the fuck out of them. Then he runs his little gauntlet. Like, he's got to stay out of the water. He's knocking ninjas in there. He's kicking more ass. Other people, they're defecting too. He gets in a sword fight with Richard Norton, who's the enforcer in the outfit. Kicks him in the fire. Then you have the guy come back on fire. Nice stunt from the stunt man. His buddy gets his throat sliced. And then gets a little fight with him and his former brother, Sakura. Now that guy is played by Tadashi Yamashita. That's the bad guy in American Ninja. Like the big bad ninja in American Ninja. So yeah, two people from American Ninja, which I would say is a better movie than this. American Ninja I thought flowed better. I thought it was paced better. It didn't have too many scenes. I'm going, you could cut that out. Like here, the whole woman that wants takes his fucking keys and fake car chase because I really want you, but you said no. You didn't need any of that shit. That could have been cut out, truncated, or just taken out entirely. But the last 30-40 minutes, you get a lot of Chuck Norris kicking ninja ass. I like the look of the Octagon, the facility. I swear, when they did that movie Ninja Assassin, which I actually don't mind. At the end, that was a film, at first I'm like, eh. But I watched it again, I'm like, I actually had fun with this movie, Ninja Assassin. I had more fun of it second time around. I'm like, this is actually not that bad of a ninja film, Ninja Assassin. I believe that's what it was called. The whole finale, I swear they took from this. Just like this facility of ninjas, and it's not only your main guy kicking ass martial arts style, there's other people shooting guns, and if there's a movie they took inspiration from, it must have been this movie. The fight that he has with Sakura, a little bit anticlimactic. It's not much of a fight because he kills the guy because he sneaked up upon him. Maybe because they already had a big fight with Chuck Norris and the enforcer guy. Again, Richard Norton under garb. So you did have a nice little big fight. But I'm like, okay, now we don't have another big fight, but maybe it'd be more personal. It just seemed like it went by too quick at the end. The fight at the end. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So again, the fight at the end I thought was a little bit anticlimactic. Thought it could have been longer, more intricate of a fight. The first half of the film, hour of the film, is like, I like Chuck Norris, I like him kicking ass, I like little aspects, Leigh Van Cleef, the pretty brutal kill at the beginning, the whole training camp by ninjas idea. But it gets bogged down by the Carlson character, Justine. None of that shit need to be in there. Art Hendel, he was fairly forgettable. Cool to see Richard Norton in an early role. Leigh Van Cleef, always nice to see him. Cool to see the flashbacks. Oh, there's the teacher from American Ninja. He's the teacher here. Oh, there's Brian Tochi. And they say, I think they said 18 years old in the flashback. And the younger Chuck Norris is actually Michael Norris. Who is that? Chuck Norris's son? Yeah. Oh. No wonder I recognize him. He was the star of Delta Force 3, which I reviewed on here and I rant on because that was a piece of shit. This is a lot better than Delta Force 3. Oh yeah, and the fucking narration with the echo, with the voices, oh, why? That was stupid. There's subplots that could be taken out. The first half needed some better editing, and the end fight needed a little bit extended. So I would not say this is I would not put this in my top 10 Chuck Norris films. Like if I did a top 10 Chuck Norris films, that'd be tough. Firewalker is my personal favorite. I know 10. I know Missing Action 1 and 2 would be in there. Invasion USA would be in there. I'd probably put Lone Wolf McQuaid in there. Silent Rage I'd put in there. I really like Force Vengeance, because Force Vengeance is literally Chuck Norris kicks people's ass for 90 minutes, the movie. That's literally Force Vengeance. That's kind of why I love it. It's like, that film really has no plot. It really is Chuck Norris just beating the shit out of people for 90 minutes. I kind of love Force Vengeance for that reason. That'd be in there. Hero and the Terror I actually liked. It's a bit more dramatic for Chuck Norris. I'm a sucker for Hellbound because I like the idea and I like the buddy cliche, but I like the buddy antics. I needed a lot more action though, Hellbound, I'll say that. But I like the villain. So yeah, I don't think this would make my top 10 Chuck Norris films, but I do like it. The last half of the film is, I thought, a lot of fun. Chuck Norris kicking ninja ass. You know, for me, those last 30, 40, I think it was like 40 minutes. When it got to the actual Octagon of the title, that's when the movie really worked for me. So I had fun with the film. It's not my favorite Chuck Norris film or even one of my favorites, but it's a fun movie. But yeah, it does have its issues, but I still liked it. And a lot better than the director's film he would do after this, Black Eagle, I'll tell you that. If you want to check out my thoughts of Black Eagle, feel free to watch my Van Damme playlist where I reviewed, again, pretty much all of Van Damme's movies. As well as reviewed pretty much all of most of Dolph Lundgren's movies, and pretty much all of Stallone's, and Steven Seagal's movies, including his direct-to-video stuff. But thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Thank you once again to everyone for the Patreon PayPal requests. Feel free to send more if you guys want. I'm open to any movie. Thank you. See you guys later. Bye-bye.